Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you, and welcome to my top 10 games of 2018 list. Wow, what a phenomenal year 2018 turned out to be for gaming. If you'd asked me last year, I thought it was going to be a hard task to top 2017, but this year got pretty damn close. So, without any further ado, we're going to start with number 10. So the back half of my list is kind of debatable, about 10 through 7, I would say. Just getting eked out was Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, but what ended up being my number 10 was more of the experience than the game. So my boy, Rewind Mike, and I, when we saw this game announced at E3 2017, I believe, or 2018, we knew we had to play it, and that was A Way Out. What a fun co-op experience. Dirt cheap too. I think it was only 20 bucks when we got it. Super fun, super great memories, aggravating memories, killing Mike, him beating me with the fishing. Game itself was kind of ho-hum by the numbers, plot twist that you kind of saw coming, but for the most part, a great experience and well worth being number 10 just for the innovation that came with it. Now, number 9 is actually a game that I only played once. I played it once at my buddy Sean's house, and it was so good that it had to make this list, even though I currently don't even own the way to play it. And that would be Beat Saber. So, for a lot of you who don't know, I was obsessed with Guitar Hero in college. I actually was learning how to play guitar, and then one of my suite mates showed up with this plastic guitar and was playing a game, so you can guess what I ended up learning how to play expertly. Not the real guitar, which I still don't know how to play. Kind of funny, too, I had to play guitar in a few shows. So yeah, that would have been a nice skill to have. But yeah, Beat Saber, before I get too far off track, is essentially VR Guitar Hero, but instead of using a guitar, you're using your hands. But instead of your hands, you're using two lightsabers. So you have to cut the direction, either out, left, right, up, down, as the beat goes. And it's this real nice techno synthwave beat that's just a lot of fun. You look like an idiot when you're doing it, but I had a complete blast. I almost went out and bought a PlayStation VR that same night. That's how much fun this game was. So definitely earned a spot on this list. Number 8. So number 8 may surprise a few people that it's not higher on this list, and that's going to be The Amazing Spider-Man on PS4. I don't know what it was about this. I love the game. I was super hyped to play it, but I don't have the nostalgia for the old Spider-Man games, so swinging around New York City was gorgeous, especially just everything in the game looks so great. Puddlegate notwithstanding, it was Batman with more, fluidity to it, kind of more agility, and I don't know. I thought that the story was really nice. I mean, obviously, you kind of guess who the main villain's going to be. But then you have the Sinister Six there, and you just knock out 2 of them in one mission. Then another 2 of them in one. And, there's no build-up. And then they have these missions where you're playing as Miles and Mary Jane that just seems shoehorned in to give the game padding and other perspectives. But you want to play as Spider-Man. I don't want to play as gimped person helping Spider-Man, which there are a few cool missions towards the end when Miles is escaping Rhino and Mary Jane is helping Spider-Man. But it takes a while to cash in on that equity, and it's still a great game, but kind of a flash in the pan AAA game, which everyone was talking Game of the Year hype as soon as it came out. Month later, nothing, and that's pretty accurate for how that game is. Still worth a play though. All right, number 7. Number 7 on my list is someone that I can't quite remember. So let me consult my list. We're going to have a jump cut right now. Number 7 is actually a game that I have been avoiding for years. Rewind Mike again. He'd been begging someone to play this, and it finally came out with a remaster, which I know these games, this isn't a new game, but it's a new game for me. I haven't played any of the series outside of Bloodborne and Demon Souls, and that's Dark Souls Remastered. Now, I don't know if it's because I had a buddy coaching me through it, and it helped me get... I just could never get into these games. And I love hard games, but this game, or not this game, but these games just feel like they punish you unnecessarily, and there's so much slog. Yeah, you get better, but once you do get better, you still can get crushed. You don't get incrementally more powerful. You're always the same level of weakness, which is why when people say you can beat the game naked, that doesn't necessarily make me want to play the game. Because it just means you have to get so good at the minutia that there's no real power gains. But anyways, I had a great time playing this. I had so much fun. I'm still in the middle of playing it, but just very, the game's really well thought out. The combat I finally got a hold of. I don't know if it's because I got the Black Knight sword and I was owning people, but I really enjoyed this, and it makes me want to go through and play the rest of the series. And the fact that it's on the Switch was super cool, although playing it in handheld mode is a little hard, because the game's very dark on handheld mode. So yeah, that made it a little difficult. Alright, number 6. Now, number 6 is a game that I hadn't planned on putting on this list. I actually had my list compiled back in early December, and I knew this was coming out, but to be honest, I don't have many friends, like local co-op friends to play with. And I was just like, I got the last one, and I played it for a bit, and I barely did. Is the online going to be good? I don't know. But it's Smash Ultimate. And honestly, this is probably going to be higher on my list the more I play it, because I've only been playing it for a few weeks now, and I'm loving it. I got my boy Ike. I hate that I still can't play as Marth anymore, and now there's so many Fire Emblem characters that play exactly the same. You got Chrom, Lucina, Ike, Corrin, like, oh my god. But Ike is so good. The online is touchy at best. Really depends on a game-by-game basis. You'll have some games that are buttery smooth, some games that are just slog, laggy, hellfest. And I think it's more based on the people playing their internet than on the actual the servers or whatnot. But it's so much fun. There's so much fan service. There's so much. Everything is nailed. I don't know what the hell is up with the spirit things. The adventure mode is boring, but unlocking all 72 characters or whatever is intense. There's more DLC characters coming out. Everyone's there. You got Snake back, Mega Man. You got King K. Rool, who's amazing, and just, I'm having a complete blast with it. The only reason why it's not higher on the list is really because I don't have friends to play with it locally. After my wedding, I was playing with my boy Alexi and Sean, and we had a great time. But normally I'm playing online or against the computer, and there's only so good you can get at it. And also, as far as the game itself goes, the one thing I will knock Smash on is that most people, when they get insanely good at it, get insanely good, and then they use these cheap-ass combos that you just can't avoid. They'll just spam the hook shot, twirl around, throw up in the air, and they'll just do that over and over again until you get like 40-50% damage, and it's just, it limits the amount of fun. I'm guilty of it too. When I play as Ike, I can do the forward B attack and just charge into people over and over again, and it gets you free damage that way, but that's my biggest issue with Smash Brothers. And you can hear my dog barking. So anyways, Smash Ultimate, number 6. Now, number 5. This is actually one of the things where doing this list later helped me, because this originally was debatable my number 1 of the year. 1 or 2. It then ended up being number 2, but then the longer I got away from it, the more the things I glossed over because the experience is so fresh in my mind. Sort of similar to Shadows of War last year. Like, the longer I got from that, the less I liked it. This game is Red Dead Redemption 2. That's my number 5. Phenomenal game. Gorgeous. Story is second to none. It's still typical Rockstar game. It's just Red Dead 1 with, in my opinion, a lot more complication put on it. I felt myself at the beginning hours wishing that it was just Red Dead 1's UI and interface with just the new graphics, because it's like you gotta clean your guns, you gotta monitor your stamina, your health, your Deadeye, your horse's health, your horse's stamina. Like, your Deadeye doesn't replenish normally unless you sleep. There's no easy fast travel in the game. There's no way to just kind of toggle you can put it in cinematic mode and the horse will run down the lane, but there's a lot of cumbersomeness to it. And the one thing I would tell people when I'm recommending the game is just there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of downtime going from mission to mission. And that ultimately, the longer I let it gestate, the longer I let it sit with me, and I'm not going to play the online. I'm not even judging the online. I didn't play the online in GTA 5, which I kind of regret. I might play the one on this one, but still, I heard, those issues notwithstanding, it just, I don't know, the world is gorgeous. It's fun to explore. There's so much to do. And it's nice to see at the end of the game how they tie it into Red Dead 1, and everything's like a nice little bow. But it just lost some of the intensity because of that. You're not quite sure. It's just, you obviously know some people are going to die because they're not in Red Dead 1. And yeah, phenomenal game, but definitely too much downtime, too much intricacies. And yeah, phenomenal game though. That's my number 5. Now, number 4. Alright, number 4. This was one that, once again, was debatably one of the games I spent more time playing, but the longer I thought about it, the more I thought 4 is a good spot, and that'd be Dead Cells. The funny thing about Dead Cells is I actually knew about this game before the whole controversy. I had it pre-ordered on PS4. Now, luckily, I canceled that pre-order, and I got it on the Switch, because one of the reasons why I love this game so much is it is a perfect pick-up-and-play game. I know a lot of people call it a Metroidvania. It's not really a Metroidvania. You can get through all the Metroidvania-ish stuff, like the upgrades, permanent upgrades, within the first 5 to 10 hours. And then at that point, it's more of an action arcade game, where every time, yes, it is roguelike, but it's just, you start from zero, and then as you go through the levels, you have a progression of systems you can go through. So you can go through this route, this route, this route, and then depending on what weapons and what abilities and augments you find out, that's how you play. So one time you may be like, oh, I found a heavy-duty sword. Well, now I'm going to level into this area versus this. I'm going to do that. And the only reason I was able to beat it the first time is because my buddy Sean, he was playing it too, and he gave me some advice with the arrow turrets, which I just stacked heavily into the arrow turrets and used that to just kill everything. But once you do that, then you unlock hard mode, which limits your healing flask refills, which that's the hardest thing in the game, is permanent damage and how you deal with it, because health is very far and few between. And you have 2 flasks or 3 flask charges, and you can upgrade it to up to 4, I believe. And just a tremendous game. Tremendous game. I beat it on normal mode, hard mode, and on very hard mode, that's where you have no healing pots whatsoever. You only have the 4 flasks you carry with you. That's where I kind of tapered off on it. I didn't get all the unlockables, but just so much fun. Every run's different. The run I ended up liking a lot was you do level 1 to the promenade, I believe, or level 1 to 2, where you don't go to the sewers, because stay away from the sewers. Sewers is death. I went to the prison depths, then I went to the ossuary, because you can basically get more upgrades by the time you get to the end, because it's the same thing. You always fight 3 bosses. You fight either the conjunctivitis or the guy on the black gate, and then you get to the timekeeper and the clock tower, or when you go up through the hidden sepulcher, and then you get to the final boss, which the final boss just wrecks you. It's super hard. Like, it took me, I've made it to him several times. I think I only beat him 3 times. So yeah, phenomenal game, Dead Cells. Highly recommended. Definitely great on the Switch, because it's such a pick up and play game. And yeah, number 3. Now, number 3 is one of those games that I actually think I'm going to start a series this coming year, where I just make bold predictions about games, knee-jerk reactions that I just know this game's going to be good or bad. And this game, I first saw it at E3 on the, I think it was E3 with Nintendo, the sizzle reel, where they showed a guy go from 8-bit graphics to 16-bit graphics, and already I was sold. And this is, of course, The Messenger, which I did a full review on The Messenger. A lot of these other games I had planned on doing reviews, Dead Cells, Spider-Man, and I never did. But The Messenger, I definitely wanted to get out there, because humor is on point, the controls are amazing, you play through the first half of the game, and it's just a Ninja Gaiden clone with so much character and heart and great abilities, and then you open up a Metroidvania-esque where it's a small contained world, so I know some people got lost in it, but if you buy the upgrades from the shop guy where it tells you where the everything is, I found it manageable. I also got incredibly lucky where I ran into the right stuff, so I could see maybe some people got frustrated. The Messenger, I cannot speak highly enough about. It's a phenomenal game. And my number 3 and my indie game of the year. Now, number 2. This was a game that I was hotly anticipating. If you guys have seen the beginning of my channel in 2015, you know I love JRPGs. And Octopath Traveler, or Project Octopath Traveler as it was originally called, just hooked me from the beginning. I played 80 hours of this game. It's my most played Switch game, and I just had such a great time playing it. All the stories were interesting. I loved the combat system. The music was phenomenal, and what a great game. I had my my grandparents, I think it was their 80th or 70th anniversary, whichever one it was, and I remember just playing the Switch during the whole thing while we were driving through Glacier National Park, and my brother and my sister-in-law being like, what the hell is he doing? I had such a great time. And Octopath, just, I can't say enough good things about it. Square Enix nailed it, and hopefully this is a sign of more of these great turn-based games to come. Because I didn't like Bravely Default, but I loved Octopath. And number 1, I think by now you can guess which one it is. No doubt about it. I knew when I played the God of War 4, or just God of War, that I was playing something special. I foolishly played it on God mode, which at the time I may have regretted, but now I don't, because it's so nice to think I conquered that. The great reveals, the amazing story, just the continuation of amazing Norse mythology, and I just can't wait to see where this series goes. And it's just so much fun. I remember I went through and I beat all the Valkyries on God mode, and I put a video out for it, which I probably spent more time trying to beat all the Valkyries than I did playing the actual game, and it was just hilarious to... I mean, go find that video. It's a hard school God mode or Valkyrie slaying, because I think I got like 20 views on it. One of the worst performing videos I ever did, especially considering all the time. It's almost like I did a 25-day of Lucious video there. But yeah, God of War, just amazing story, combat's great. I don't want to give in the spoilers. Watch my video if you want to see what I'm talking about. But you already know, and just hands down Game of the Year. And I'm so glad they did beat out Red Dead as Game of the Year because it truly deserved it. Santa Monica Studios hit a home run, and that was by far Game of the Year 2018. So yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of my list. Obviously, these are games that I played, so I actually started playing Monster Hunter World, and that's when my PS4 broke, so I didn't get to play that. I just started Detroit Become Human with Jen, which I'm having a great time with. That's likely going to creep onto this list. It'd probably knock out A Way Out or Beat Saber if I'd had more time to play it. And other games I missed out on, like Ni no Kuni 2 and the such. I'll get to them one of these days if there's ever enough time. But let me know what you guys thought. Obviously, my list is right and you're wrong because my opinion is what matters. Sick of everyone always being like, oh, this is just my list. No, this is the list. That's right. Yeah, guys, it's been so nice getting a hold of you. Take care.